Hi guys, Leica Earthkeeper here from the Quantum Realm Institute, Yoga and Mystic School, and you are tuning into the story of a yogi. We have a special guest today known as Yogi Boothe. We have Brian here. Hi Brian, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, I just want to dive in. How did you become a yogi? Do you want to share that with us?
Sure. Well, it started, I don't know how many years ago now. It's been, oh boy, maybe 3-4 years, maybe. I just kind of started yoga accidentally. My wife was doing it at the time, and she invited me to come to a class, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And you really knew nothing about it. And I at the time I was hitting the gym pretty hard. I think I was going about 7 days a week, and I thought I was in pretty good shape. And I had gone to the gym and then had gone to a yoga class. And right after that, my wife had asked me, "So you're going to do a yoga class right after going to the gym?" I was like, "Yeah, piece of cake. I'm in good shape, right?" So I get in there, and it literally kicked my butt. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I sweat so much. I think I lost 30 pounds. It was crazy, and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't really do anything compared to my workouts, right? So like, what's going on here? And I had gone to a couple more classes, and at the time I really knew nothing about yoga. I had no idea what I was doing, why I was doing it, anything. But I stuck with it. I guess that's just what you do, and it just kind of became more fun, I guess. And then my wife had signed up for yoga teacher training, and she wanted me to do it with her, and at first I was like, I don't know, because I thought it wasn't good timing, really, because I think it was the very beginning of maybe 2020 when things at work started getting real slow, and you could tell that stuff was going to happen. It was really going to slow us down, and I was worried about money, right? And at the time, I didn't think it would be a real good investment to spend all this money, again, because I didn't know what I was paying for, right? And I think she had started maybe a few weeks, and then finally I was like, okay, I'll dive in. And the one thing I learned from that is there's no amount of money that is too much to invest in yourself. So, I got the whole idea of money and good investment, bad investment, just completely wiped out of my head, right? So I, took the plunge, and I got into teacher training, and the whole idea was to learn more about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and some of the things that were being said, and I just didn't understand it. And there's a myth out there that yoga is a religion. And I don't think I really thought that, but I didn't know either way. So I love history, and there was a lot of history. Yoga is extremely old, and the history part of it, really intrigued me. I love to learn, and I was right at home learning new stuff. And not only do you learn the history of it, you get into the body and anatomy and so all kinds of great things. And I think, how long was that training?
I know, but I have to insert that I got the opportunity to watch you fall in love with yoga.
Absolutely, yes, I did. And again, I did it just to learn really why I was doing what I was doing on a mat. And never had any intentions at all of teaching. I never considered myself a teacher. But as I progressed through, like you said, I fell in love with it, and I want to share it with everybody. And I remember in our teacher training, we had to do the kind of the final exam where we would teach the class to the other teacher in training students, and how nervous I was, because not only did I have these people, even though we were all very close, we had grown. It was like a family, so we knew each other, and we were still real nervous, right? And then we had you sitting in the corner grading us. So not only are you nervous, he's got these people, and then you got you in the corner. I'm like, oh my gosh. And this is one of the things you just you study and you practice and you work because you want to do a good job, right? And I'm sure that we all came off extremely nervous, but as it progressed, you kind of let go a little bit, and you learn that again with yoga. You learn a lot about yourself, and if you just let things be, just let it go. You're trying to control it and make it the best thing ever, and the harder you try to make it the best thing ever, sometimes the worse it gets. So when you can just let go and just let it be free and organic, it can be something beautiful. So yeah, I made it through that, and actually I survived that. We'll say that. And then I think I know myself well enough that if I didn't start teaching right away, then I may not teach. And I at that point I wanted to teach. I really did, and I was very nervous, and but I push that aside, and I think I've had, since I think maybe a week or two after that, after we graduated, I think I've been teaching ever since. I've had a class every week, and I look forward to it every week. That's like if there's nothing else going on, Wednesdays are my class, 5:30. But those are the days I really look forward to. Because no matter what's going on, I know I got yoga on Wednesdays. And I think I taught one class a week for quite a while. And even though I wanted to dive in, and I would have loved to teach 5 days a week, and I knew that I'm really good at taking on a lot of times more than I can chew, right? So knowing that, I just stayed at the one class a week, and I didn't want to get burnt out. I wanted to enjoy it, right? So every week, one class a week, and then just recently started picking up another class. So now I've got Saturday mornings also, which I really enjoy. And then I'm filling in a lot more. So I still love it. I love it. It's great. Wish I could teach more, but I do have a full-time job that does take a lot of time too. And it can be tough sometimes when you think about what class you're going to teach. We think about a theme or something we're going to work on, and it takes planning, and you really got to think. And I've noticed the classes that I really put a lot of effort into, try to make it just all kinds of just great stuff in it. More people seem to show up to the classes. And then there's some classes where, maybe a busy week and you just didn't have as much time to give it the attention it needed. And, those weeks, the attendance may be a little bit lower. So it's crazy how, you put all this energy into it, and that energy kind of just goes out into the world, and people are like, oh, what is that? And it just kind of brings them in.
So you're witnessing your manifestation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And because over time, the classes that you really put your energy and your heart and soul into, not only are they great classes, but they're, you get to share it with more people.
Would you say that yoga has made you a better husband and father?
Boy, I don't know about that. Yes. I think it's given me some more patience, but along with that is understanding myself more and knowing maybe my triggers or the things that really bug me, and is it an end all fix to be perfect? Absolutely not. So it's like they say, it's a journey, right? So you're constantly working on things, and for me, it's just being aware, aware of my patterns, aware of my triggers, aware of my distractions, and when you are aware of those, then you can begin to fix them or improve, right? And they start to just disappear also. So when you're aware of them, it's like you can stop. Let's say something maybe really irritates you, and it's like this trigger goes off. Oh, wait, I'm about to be irritated. Don't be irritated. And it kind of stops you in your tracks. Not always. There are times where it just happens, and that's part of the practice. Is just working on things.
It definitely helps us be more mindful.
Right. And probably the biggest thing that I've noticed is my driving. That's
less road rage?
Less road rage, yes. I am extremely impatient when I drive, and I swear that everybody on the road's out to get me, and they pull out in front of me because they do it on purpose, that kind of stuff, which is really, really silly. Because if somebody pulls out in front of you, they don't, they're not doing it on purpose. They didn't leave their house that day to find me to pull out in front of me, right? So again, it's that awareness of my thought process also, that these people are not doing it directly to me. So I use my horn a whole lot less, and I have noticed a huge difference in that. Just more patience there. Yeah, there are some days where it may sneak out, but in that case, those people probably really deserved it. Because there's some goofy drivers out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being patient and compassionate, maybe is the other word.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, because you think you don't know what's going on in their life, their head, whatever that moment. Maybe they just left the house, had an argument with their spouse or their kids or something, and they're all frazzled and not completely thinking clearly, right? Maybe that's the case. Maybe they are intentional. Whatever it is, I can't control that. And then when you try to get angry and get back at them, you're trying to control the situation or make them feel the way I felt, and it's just wasted energy. So that's probably one of the biggest things. Yeah.
And you've extended your education in yoga.
Yeah. So we started with the YTT 200, and just recently finished the 500, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And that's just, again, learning more. Just learn. And I want to continue to learn more, and then the things that I learn, I want to share and teach. And I've been reading a lot more books lately, and a lot of things that I read, I bring that to my classes. And it's kind of funny how some things just happen to be exactly what either the class needed or maybe a specific person in that class. And you can see a lot of times either within their face after the class or even during, that you really had touched someone or healed them or got them on the path of healing. And it could be just a simple word, a phrase, compassion. Maybe you're doing an adjustment in a class, and maybe that did it that day. You just never know. So it's that, the loving kindness, the sharing, the teaching. I just love it. It's great.
What's your favorite style of yoga to teach?
Boy, I don't know. I really like the slower meditative yogas, but I kind of find that when I go slower, I'll hold things longer, which can be kind of intense at times. And it can be along the lines of a power yoga as far as you really engaging the muscles. Maybe not always getting the heart rate up and the breath up, but really working those muscles and holding poses and maybe challenging not only the body but the mind. Because when you get into a pose that's difficult, your body wants to say, "This is hard. Stop doing it."
And the things that come up in the mind.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah. The self-doubt, or you're not strong enough to do this, or and again, the awareness. The more you come to your mat, the more you're aware of these things within your body and in your mind, and you can work on that. So I think that's probably what is the, and if that really is a style.
Sounds like a hatha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
Where do you see this yoga thing going for you?
This yoga thing? I have no idea.
This yoga lifestyle.
I have no idea.
It's kind of a process of surrendering
It is.
to the path, wherever it may lead you.
Right. And
Being open to that.
yeah, I don't know if I've really thought about where it's going to lead me, but I know it's going to open doors. And it will close doors. And like you said, just being okay with whatever happens. I think I'd like to do it like every day.
Teach
Maybe.
every day?
Yeah. But not because I have to, because I want to.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to, I would do that also. But it's a lot more fun when you do it because you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, maybe I'll end up in Costa Rica or the Himalayas or some mountain somewhere and maybe just teach there, or do nothing, have nobody around. I mean, I just be away from people would be okay too.
Be like a monk?
Yeah, kind of. Before yoga, I always had issues with being with myself. I always had distractions and always things going on because I was afraid, or I wanted to just ignore, out of sight, out of mind, right? Just ignore what may come up in here, or oh my gosh, I might have to deal with something. And now it's a lot easier. I don't shy away from that kind of thing. Is it easier? Yeah, sometimes, but I'm not scared of it. And
You get to a point where you prefer to be alone?
yeah, I do like quiet time. I like my time. I think I find myself slowing down a lot more. And I don't know if that's just because I'm getting older, or that I really enjoy the quiet. Mm. But I found also that I have to be careful. So the other thing I love to tell everybody, so my nemesis, my lifelong challenge is balance. Mm. And even though I love the quiet and the meditative side and just doing my own thing, I can't be a recluse, right? I can't just lock myself in the closet and just be there. I've got to expose myself to the chaos, because you can't really hide from it. There is chaos everywhere, chaos within the world. And when you do that, then you learn how to navigate through those feelings and the thoughts that came up and the annoyances and all that stuff. So yeah, I love that. I still try to introduce myself to things that I don't necessarily care for.
And be the calm in the chaos.
Yeah, and that's extremely tough. 'Cause I like the quiet, and I just haven't quite figured out how to. I need a remote with a mute button for everybody that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. So yeah, that's my story.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I have to ask you my one question. What is your advice for humanity?
Maybe stop trying so hard. One of my favorite quotes from Oscar Wilde is, be yourself because everyone else is already taken. And I think when you can stop comparing yourself to others, trying to be others or like others, you'll find a lot more peace and contentment in your life. So yeah, maybe it's just be yourself, no matter what that is. And whatever it is, accept it for what it is. I mean, you're you.
Yeah.
There's nobody else like you. You are you. All the goods, the bads, the uglies, the pretties, handsomes, whatever, that's just what you are.
Yeah, no one is fewer than you.
Right, I like that. Yeah. And that is something I've learned too, is, learn to accept myself. My shortcomings and taking compliments. That's always been tough. But hey, I'm just me.
Well, how can we unconditionally love anybody if we don't unconditionally love ourselves first?
Right. That is very true.
And I think that we're going to move into a more authentic time. Like people will be beating to their own drum and stepping into their authenticity.
I hope so. Yeah, I think there'll be a whole lot, at least the generation coming up. I think a lot of kids, there's a lot of comparison with social media and, they're with their friends and the rest of the world, that they put a lot of pressure on themselves to be something they're not. Mm-hmm. And when they can just let go and be themselves. And if that means that they find a place to do that. So, a place with like-minded people. So let's say maybe you're just like a weird artist, right? And you always kind of like hid it, and because you didn't want to be labeled weird or seen as weird. But if you can find a place where there's other weird artists, right, where you can just be yourself, I think you'll find a lot more contentment and happiness.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of found that within yoga. I guess the very open-mindedness, right? The non-judging, you just love everybody for them being them, right? And you don't have to be something else. You just be. And I think that's probably one of maybe the biggest things that really attracted me to yoga was I got to see all the different body types, ethnicities, genders, everything. And they come into a place where it didn't matter.
And they come together.
Yeah.
In one room.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we're all energy. And we are just one energy. And at that point, it doesn't matter what you look like or what you are. We all just plug in and we're just energy. Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing.
Celebrating the diversity in unity.
Yes. Yeah. Where you can still be yourself and be loved. Yeah. I love it.
I do too.
I've done, one of my favorite things to do is the Sat Nam, the Kriya Kirtan meditation, where it's some chanting and I remember one class we had a room full. I think there was maybe 20 people in the studio, and it was jam packed. I mean, it was wall to wall people, and we had done this, and at one point you feel everybody just connect. And I like to picture in my head that it's all of a sudden everybody's roots just kind of got into the ground, and they all converged and all came together. And in that point where they all just connected, you could feel it. And like we just all plugged into each other through energy. And I've had other people say the same thing, that it's a powerful experience, and that's one of my favorite things to do. It's just, yes. Oh, yeah, it's great. Which I think we need to schedule another one of those sometime. Yeah. Because it is so great. It's very powerful. And you wouldn't think that just maybe chanting that would really do anything, but it's that energy that you're
creating.
Yeah, exactly. And then also found within that once people just let go, because it's another challenge too. So maybe somebody thinks that they don't have a good voice, or they don't want to be heard, whatever, and you can kind of feel that they're really holding back, or not letting go, right? And then at that moment where they're almost like screw it, who cares? And all of a sudden it just like you just feel it. And that's when, at that one moment, everyone in that room just let go and just said, screw it, and allowed just themselves to be. And then that's when that energy it was just so beautiful. And we've had a lot of emotional releases, people, again, letting go and allowing just that energy to come over them, and they they'll have an emotional release. They may start crying and don't even know why. I love that. Not that they're crying, but that they let down or put down that shield. That maybe that person they're trying to be, or they want to be, and they just put that down and just be what they are. And
I always say then that's when the medicine of yoga has worked.
Yeah.
Is when they've had a release and they cry.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing.
It's a fantastic thing, yeah. And one thing that I'm working on myself, I'm not a real emotional person. I don't cry a whole lot, but there have been times where I've been watching a movie and I started crying. I'm like, what in the world's going on here? I don't do that. But I'm also learning through you a lot about the moon phases and astrology and a lot of that stuff. And wow, it's powerful, and it makes sense. Some of the emotions that I have, or the feelings of feeling heavy or weighted down or light, and then you come to a class and you just mention something about the full moon or this or that. I'm like, oh, well, that's why. It's crazy. But yeah, again, accepting, it's whatever. If you have to cry for a movie, then it's okay.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a very strange feeling.
We're unlearning a lot.
Yes.
And unpacking a lot.
Yes. Yeah, I got a big box to unpack, but getting there.
Yeah. But like you said earlier, sometimes just becoming aware of it. Like it's like we're shining the light of alchemy, and things just start to transform all on their own. It doesn't take a lot of work. It doesn't take a lot of therapy. It doesn't, some things just start transforming just by shining the light of awareness.
Right. And one thing I would like to say too, with yoga teachers, we're all human. We're all just normal people, and we're all learning, and we're on a journey of our own. So yeah, we're just normal people.
Yeah.
And we're going through the same challenges.
So humanity, don't hold your yoga teacher on a pedestal.
We're just navigating through things, and it just so happens that a lot of times we've already navigated through things that you may be working through, to where we could can help guide you through that. But yeah, we're still on our own path and learning. And there's a lot of things that may come up that we don't know, and that's okay
Yeah.
because we're going to learn it.
I always say I'll be a student forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think I ever want to stop learning.
Right.
I do get frustrated where I don't learn enough, or maybe don't retain enough, but working on that too. So
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and doing this with me.
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully I can continue to keep teaching and sharing for a long, long, long time.
Yeah. And I'd love to have you on it as a guest again.
Sure. Absolutely. I don't know what else I talk about, but
But it might come to you.
yeah.